We're coming up to the weekend, and so many interesting things have been happening this week. I thought there's an overriding theme, and that's that I think our bureaucracy is getting even more out of control than I felt it was in the past. We've slipped into a belief that bureaucracy can solve problems. It can't. It's just paperwork. It can organise very well. It can delay, it can simplify, but it can also make a problem more complex. For too long, I think we've probably been passing the buck. Maybe we passed the buck on the economic issues, maybe we passed the buck on the European issues or the historical issues. We have to be very careful that we don't end up in the problem of the East India Company. But the real issue is not to apportion blame, but to get things done. Now, two significant stories that I thought were interesting this week. The first is the vaccine and the NHS and the impressive turnaround in validating the German vaccine spun to endorse Brexit. The Pfizer vaccine was possible because of Brexit. That's what Matt Hancock claimed in the Times radio interview that he did earlier this week. In fact, it seems to be a result of the rapid medicine regulation of 2012. And we are still controlled by EMA until January the 1st. If you look at the director, I think she's the director of the MHRA, a lady called Jane Rain. She says we've been able to authorise a supply of the vaccine using provisions under European law. So here we've got paperwork which is actually deceptive. That's disturbing. And the other story which I thought was very, very interesting was Piers Corbyn. Now, I know Piers, and I've had some very entertaining meetings with him. He certainly has some odd views. He is one of the most engaging people that I can think of. But some of his views, yes, are certainly, they border on crazy, but he's always worth listening to. Now, in May, he was arrested for protesting about lockdown. He spent, I think, 12 hours in police detention. And this week, his case came to court. He was found guilty, but the judge decided that there really wasn't any punishment for him, so he was given an absolute discharge. What this means is that the laws which are being produced at the moment very quickly are not really effective. They're not really doing their job. And that is extremely disturbing. So we come back to this issue about bureaucracy. Bureaucracy is there to help us. The more paper, the more regulations, the more nonsense we pile on people, the more absolutely we have to sift through to try and work out what's going on. But the more it does no good. In the end, it fails because it's just paperwork. So we've got to find ways to engage in proper debate. We've got to find ways to protest if we want to, legally. And we've got to challenge a system which is getting top-heavy with paperwork. We need to make sure that paperwork does not crush, does not erode or fracture, my metaphors are going all over the place, our civil liberty and the values that we hold to be important. So there we are. Two thoughts for this week as we go into the weekend. Have fun.